Hi there, it's Holly here from Your Past is a Gift. Okay, so as promised, I'm back and we were going to talk about choice, that word, choosing. Now, I remember in my lifetime, I was a teenager, would have been about 15, give or take, and my parents decided to move overseas. Okay, we were in Australia and they decided to move overseas, okay, to a third world country, okay, which is very, very different to the lifestyle in Australia. Now, at that time, of course, they were the grown-ups. They made the decision. They moved us there, my sister and I. So all four of us moved overseas. Now, at the time, I remember, like, looking back at it now, I understand why it all happened the way it happened, right? My feelings and my reactions and the things I did. Up until now, I didn't understand why I did all that as a teenager. So for some of you parents out there, it might help you understand your teenagers a little bit better as well. Or if you're the teenager, you might start to understand your behavior of what you've been doing. So a lot of it has to do with choice. I was moved to an alien country, you know, a country that I knew very little about. I'd only visited once before, and it was only for 2 months, you know, just to visit family, you know, my mum's family over there. So, you know, we get there and I'm like, okay, you've just taken me out of a school that I love. You've taken me away from this group of girls that I adore, I was connected to. I had a connection, you know, with these girls, and I love them and I love seeing them every day, and you've taken me away from that. You've taken that away from me, is what I felt. You know, and my parents couldn't find a house that they liked. It was like whatever house we moved to was the wrong house because they'd spent so many years building their beautiful dream home here, and they left that behind, you know, so now it was just, let's move, you know. And so I felt disrespected, I guess, in a way, that they made this huge decision and I had no choice in it. And in the end, I ended up feeling angry, and there was that sense of being invisible again. You know, am I invisible? Do I not have a choice in what happens in my life? You know, how do you move me all the way across the world to another place? And I have no choice in that, you know? And I'm not a little kid, I was 15, you know, at the time. So I kind of felt like I have no say in my own life. I have no say. These grown-ups make all the decisions and I just have to be dragged along to whatever they want to do, you know? And so I know towards the end of, you know, I was turning 16, I started smoking, I remember. And I remember at the time, I knew I was doing it because they would not approve. My parents would not approve if they found out that I was doing that. You know? All these little things that teenagers do, and they get angry and they don't know how to express it in a way for the grown-ups around them to understand, you know. Now this was a small thing, moving across the world, you know, and not having a choice, not being able to be a part of the decision, you know, because it was my life as well. I'm the one being moved. But with this also comes a bigger picture, you know, for all of you out there that were children, that were being molested as children, you know, or physically abused, you know, the physical violence that you had to endure as a child. There's two sides, there's two parts to this equation, if you like, and it's become so clear to me in the last week. There's the action, there's what happened, okay? So say you were molested. Let's go with that one, okay? Or physically violent. They were physically violent. They hit you very, you know, or they abused you violently, whatever it was. There's the action of what they did, okay? But it's not so much the action that's caused the pain or the hurt inside of you. It's not the physical action. It's the fact that you didn't have a choice. All of these things were happening to you. And your anger or your sadness or the fear that you've created to protect you from all that comes because from that experience, they made you feel powerless. They made you feel that you have no power. They've taken that away from you. They never asked you, is it okay for you if I molest you this morning? Did they ever ask you? No. And I'm sure they guilted you into it most of the times. Made you feel guilty or made you feel afraid if you told anyone. You know, there's a lot of mind games that go on with all those sorts of things that really mess you up upstairs. But the biggest thing to take away from it is that those actions, the things that happened, they made you feel that you have no power. This is your body, this is your life, and you have no power. They did this to you against your will. So your anger or your fear or your sadness, if you're in a depression right now, comes from that fact that you feel that you had no power. They did this to you, and there was nothing you could do. So there's the action. And as ugly or as bad as it might have been, it's not so much the action that's caused the pain and the hurt, but it's the feeling that you had no choice. As a human being, you weren't given a choice. You couldn't say, no, I don't want that. No, don't do that. So I want you to really think about that today. You know, because at the time I remember, and that was just moving. I took up smoking, you know, just to annoy my parents. Because if they found out, I knew they'd be angry. But it's my body. It's my life. And that was the one thing I thought that I could control. I could do that. And they couldn't do anything about it. Because even if they said to stop it, I was 16. I'd still do it behind their backs if that's what I really, really wanted to do. You know, so for many of you, you've probably got other patterns in place, or maybe the same. Maybe you've taken up smoking, you know, to abuse your body. It's like a punishment, you know, but it's your way of saying it's my body. I'll do what I want with it. It's my life. And even though what you're doing is not a good thing, but it feels to you like you have control over something. Because those events have made you feel that you don't have any control. You have no power. Think about it. Really think about it. Where's your anger coming from? Where's that sadness coming from? And where's that fear? Because remember, as I've said in previous videos, those feelings are there to protect you. Never deny them. They're there to protect you. And as long as they keep showing up for you, there's still things inside you that are unresolved. As long as they keep showing up, they're still telling you, hello, issue here. Still haven't looked at this one over here, so we're going to keep getting angry. You know, or haven't looked at this issue over here, so we're going to keep being sad. So they're not bad feelings. You know, you shouldn't put feelings into categories of these are good feelings, let's try and feel these, and these are bad feelings. All feelings are there for you. And they're to tell you where you are in your life. They're to tell you, hey, let's stop and pay attention to this. Why does this keep showing up? Because that's what I did with the anger. I was angry all the time. Why am I angry all the time? So I had to address it. Otherwise, I was going to keep living my life angry. And to be honest, I didn't want to live that way. I didn't want to keep being angry all the time. I didn't. I was tired of being angry all the time. So if you're at that stage where you're ready and you're tired of being sad all the time, or you're tired of being angry like I was, you know, or you're tired of being afraid, you've had enough of it. I don't want to be afraid anymore. Then start to listen to the video, start to follow along and find the point. That point in time where you made a decision, and understand that decision. Right, my darlings? I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages, and I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.